Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Battle video. In this video we're going to take a look at Absolute Power Strength Jiren and see just how good he is after his Extreme Z Awakening in DBZ Dokkan Battle Global. Now Strength Jiren is a pretty interesting unit. He's actually quite conditional, but we're going to take a look at him and see how good he can be. He's a USS category lead of Key plus 3, HP attack and defense of 170%. And a strength type lead of 120%. He greatly raises his attack and defense for one turn, causes immense damage to the enemy and greatly lowers his defense. He has Key plus 2, attack and defense at 200%, and a medium chance of stunning all enemies at the start of turn. He has attacks effective against all types when facing only one enemy at the start of turn, and reduces damage received by 30% when facing 2 or more enemies at the start of turn. He gets an additional attack and defense of 50%, and a high chance of stunning the attacked enemy when performing a super attack. He performs a critical hit when the target enemy is stunned, and he gets an additional attack and defense of 111% and performs a guaranteed crit when there's a USS or tournament participants category enemy. In terms of build, if you are focusing on him getting stuns or just facing USS, you're going to want to go primarily additionals. If you are trying to use him in the majority of content, you probably want to go for a crit orientated with a bit of additional build. Cold Judgment, Shocking Speed, Infighter, Hero of Justice, Godly Power, Tournament of Power and Fierce Battle are his link sets, and his categories are Realm of the Gods, USS, Universe 11, Space Traveling Warriors, Defenders of Justice, Tournament Participants and Super Bosses. Now he's pretty good on the majority of teams as long as he is facing a USS or Tournament Participant category character. The 111% boost is quite insane and makes his raw start of turn stats pretty impressive. You'll see is depending on how much boost or support you have, he can range anywhere with one dupe from 360 to almost over 600k defense at the start of turn. Of course that is with support and 2 double turn buffs from the Android 17 and 18, but still pretty good stuff. That is specifically against a USS character. Now when he is not facing a USS character, those stats drop quite substantially, and at that point you start to lose a little bit of value with him. Now of course it doesn't mean that he's not useless at all, but what it does mean is it does limit him a little bit. He all of a sudden becomes a bit more limited as a character. He loses a little bit of that utility and ability to work, and because portions of his passive are also locked against facing a stunned enemy, that means you can't fully rely on his entire kit from a damage perspective. Now he is still pretty decent. I don't want to write him off entirely. I do think there is value in him, but I just think that he does have quite a few conditions. So he shines in some content, like he shines in any stage where he's facing a USS category enemy or a tournament participants enemy. He shines in stages where you're facing multiple enemies, and he shines in stages where he can stun the enemy. So he shines in a lot of content, just not specifically a unit that's tailor-made for red zones in particular. There are some where he shines really nicely, like for example the first stage of the Red Ribbon Androids Red Zone, where you're facing multiple enemies and tournament participants. He looks really good. Then there are others where he doesn't look so good, and that's just kind of how he is. You can also clearly notice the big difference between him facing a USS category enemy and a non-USS category enemy. Like you can see just the drop off in stats. His attack stats go from 7 million and 9 million and 8 million to 5 million. His defense goes from a max of 590 to 388 or 360, and his lowest defense he can get from being 360 goes to like 190k, and that's just how it is with him facing non-USS enemies. Now in terms of links, your priority links are going to be Cold Judgment, Shocking Speed, Godly Power, Tournament of Power and Fierce Battle. Infighter and Hero of Justice are a little bit harder to get. Hero of Justice is a great link, but is only really available on like Patrol Defenders of Justice teams, or with other Universe 11 category characters. And then Infighter is just quite difficult to get in general. Cold Judgment is definitely his priority link, due to how much defense it gives in general, which boosts him quite a bit. So I do suggest that you get Cold Judgment, as it's quite an important link when you're trying to maximize his performance and his defense. But aside from that, Shocking Speed or Torment Power will set you up for key links, and in general he'll look pretty good in the majority of situations. He does just need basically Cold Judgment, and from there you can kind of just build him out. He has 2 key inside as well, so he doesn't really have any major key requirements. But if you can get TOP or you can get Shocking Speed, that's great. TOP is the better link because it gives a bit higher in terms of overall stats, so you can definitely enjoy that one. And then the rest are fairly common. You have Fierce Battle, Godly Power on a Realm of the Gods team. So yeah, pretty decent stuff. Overall, Jiren is decent. I think he will be a unit that shines in a lot of content. He's basically an upgraded version of Tech Hit, which is overall okay. That's it from me. Bye.